characters. Copy. Okay, this is the town of Ravengro.
What? That is not a town. That is a chick.
Huh, it looks exactly the same.
Oh, cool.
That's so weird.
Okay.
Oh, okay, there we go.
This is
That's pretty.
It takes me a minit. So. This is the town of Ravengro. This is where you're headed to for Professor Lorrimor's funeral. Alright, let me find my place in the book. I hate they put this crap out of order. I gotta go from the beginning of the PDF to the back of the PDF.
Yeah. Yep. Rise of the Rune Lords does that too, and it bugs the crap out of me.
I want extra XP if I add.
Oh, Doodle, at the top right there, click that macro stack thing.
Where?
On your bar, gray bar, click macro stack. It's your bookmarks!
Me.
Oh.
It's awesome.
It's gonna make your little macros go into 2 rows down there.
We're gonna hang out.
Okay, has everybody read the adventure background? It's fairly lengthy. I can read you the whole background. It looks like it's about a page and a half.
I remember it was in the player's guide, but that was like 2 paragraphs. That wasn't.
Yeah, no, this is like the full background.
Oh, I didn't find that.
It's in the actual book.
Well, I didn't buy the book. I didn't buy the book because I didn't want to like look at, be tempted to look ahead.
Nope. I don't know why it's doing that.
No problem. All right, I'm gonna read your. I'm gonna start off with your adventure background here. My voice does get a little monotone. I apologize in advance.
All good. I'm still eating.
You're still eating?
Yep.
Oh, do you want to wait? You want me to wait?
No, you can continue to the background. I can still listen. I'll be done by the time you're done.
Okay. Feel free to take notes. I actually highly encourage taking notes because once I tell you something, if you ask me 10 minutes later what I said, I'm not going to know. So.
Gotcha.
How do I do it again?
Small towns grow up around a university. What's that?
Oh, sorry.
It looks like we lost.
Yeah.
Kristen.
I don't know what the hell's up with her laptop and like dropping the call.
Oh, did she get dropped again?
Yeah, I don't know why.
And I don't have anything else open.
Depending on how things go, maybe I'll see about getting like a Mumble server or something. Cause I think you can get like 10% Mumble servers for free.
I think I can get a 10 million. I think I have a 10 million.
I have a TeamSpeak server.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. We can actually use the VoIP on Roll20. It's actually really good.
They have it built in.
Not
oh
really.
yeah,
I've had problems with it.
I don't know. I've never had an issue with it. I'll leave it up to y'all though.
Stop it, T-Rex.
Quick. Save image as.
We'll buy 90.
I actually have a full-scale map of Ravengro 2 on here. I'll probably use it to show you where certain buildings are.
This one's actually, I mean, if you zoom in, it zooms in nicely. So. Yeah, man, Kristen's laptop does not like Skype. Well, plus Skype, when you get this many people in it, it starts to get a little finicky anyway. It's like once you get past 5 people on Skype, it's just the call quality either can go bad or it just gets a little finicky.
Aren't Will and Kristen in the same house?
What's that?
Aren't Will and Kristen living together or something in the same house?
Yes.
So they could just listen on. They could just use Will's Skype. And she can, be on a laptop.
He has. I don't think he has. You're set up for that right now. He's got a headset. Yeah, he's got a headset. And then they were using Kristen's laptop.
Well, I changed your power settings to the high performance, so maybe it was that. I don't know.
Okay.
If that's all it was, that's kind of funny.
Well, it happens to a lot of laptops, so.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, that's stupid. Where'd I hide your candy book?
In the closet.
Okay, well, I got... Alright. So, continuing. The adventure background. Some small towns grow up around a university. Their shops and other offerings catering to a scholastic clientele. Others boast famous festivals or specialized industries that draw skilled artisans and craftsmen. But in the sad case of Ravengro, the town's claim to fame is a prison. And not just any prison, for Ravengro supported one of Uslav's most notorious jails, Harrowstone. Twice a year, a prison convoy rounded up the worst of the worst from smaller, less secure jails around the Principality and transferred them to Harrowstone, often to await death by hanging, but always to live out the rest of their lives as prisoners. Already the home of dozens of notorious criminals, the mid-year prisoner convoy of 4661 AR brought a particularly horrendous batch of criminals all at once. Among them were 5 particularly notorious convicts. The Lopper, the Piper of Illmarsh, Father Charlatan, the Mosswater Marauder, and even the infamous Splatterman.
Cool.
I think he... Never mind, I'm not even going to say that. First time I said that, I was like, splatter. I was like, what did he splatter people with? That's gross. Not even... Not even Harrowstone was adequately equipped to handle these criminals. And as their execution dates drew near, the Lopper and the Splatterman, working together, picked their moment and staged a desperate attempt to seize control of the prison and perhaps escape. Yet while they managed to turn the tables on Harrowstone's guard and, for a few minutes, held control of the prison, they did not anticipate an act of self-sacrifice by Harrowstone's head warden, Lyvar Hawkran. Only a few minutes after the prisoner seized control of Harrowstone's lower-level, Warden Hawkran triggered an emergency deadfall that sealed the dungeon and trapped everyone, including himself and most of the guards, within the prison's dungeon, leaving the only way out a supply lift that couldn't be activated from the dungeon level. It was via this lift that the warden and other trapped guards initially thought to escape, but before they could make it to safety, they were overpowered by the rioting prisoners and taken hostage. The prisoners attempted to use their hostages to force the few guards who remained on the floor above to lower the lift, but the guards were too well trained. Even with their warden and most of their friends trapped below, they continually refused to lower the lift. Further, they set guards around the lift shaft above so that any prisoner who attempted the nearly impossible climb would have to contend with crossbow bolts raining down from above. Eager to avoid sparking a panic in Ravengro, the guards holed up and did a masterful job keeping the truth of the riot contained while they desperately tried to work out a plan. Yet, several hours later, after Lyvar failed to return home for his customary dinner, the warden's wife, Vesoriana, crossed the prison grounds from her home to the central prison. In their panic, the guards had left the main entrance to the prison unlocked. So Vesoriana was able to enter the prison with ease, only to find it strangely empty. Following the sound of shouting, she came to the training room where the remaining guards were gathered near the lift shaft to the dungeon. When Vesoriana learned from the increasingly frantic guards that her husband was trapped with the madmen below, she pleaded with the guards on the ground to remove the deadfall and stage a rescue. And I think we lost Kristen.
Did you get kicked again?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Kicked again.
Hang on, I got an idea.
Did you see me leave or something?
I got an idea.
Why are you doing that?
I can't play with that. Covered in varnish. Let's go. Don't look at that. Play with steel wool. I love my cat plays so well.
Redo the call again. No, it's not Skype, dude. For some reason, her laptop just keeps dropping the wireless connection. She's sitting right next to the router, so I don't know what it is. But I restarted, or I threw it into airplane mode and then restarted it, so hopefully that clears up whatever it is, since that restarts the wireless stuff.
I don't suppose you have an extra Ethernet cable just laying around you can plug in?
You know what? I'm sure I do somewhere, but I'd be hard-pressed to find it right now.
Well, if I could give you one through my computer, I would. I've got about 10 right outside my feet.
Yeah.
Should just smack my computer and be like, hey, knock it out.
You can try restarting the router. That would take mine a lot.
Yeah, that's my next step if it continues to happen.
Okay. Alright. No problem. So, back to where we left off. When they repeatedly refused, she went into hysterics. She managed to dodge the guards, run to the lift winch, and throw the release, causing the heavy wooden platform to plummet into the dungeon below in the hope that her husband would leap onto it and be pulled to safety. In actuality, the lift crushed several guards and a few prisoners who had been standing directly below it. The horrified Vesirana was convinced her husband was among them. Taking advantage of her shock, several guards managed to finally apprehend her and swiftly bustle her off to the prison workshop at the other end of Harrowstone, locking her inside for her own safety. The remaining guards worked frantically to keep the prisoners from escaping, with the lift below swiftly filling up with eager prisoners. They couldn't simply pull it back up. And as the other prisoners began climbing the chains that connected the fallen lift to the upper level, the guards grew desperate. Knowing that they were about to be outnumbered by lunatics, they made a fateful decision. They began rolling barrels of lamp oil from the nearby storeroom into the hole, hoping to dislodge prisoners from the lift and dissuade them from climbing. But when one of Harrowstone's most notorious prisoners, the spellcasting murderer known as the Splatterman, stepped into view and began using his magic against the guards, desperation gave way to blind panic, and one of the guards threw a lit torch into the oil-soaked depths, figuring that if the lift were burned, order would be restored. Unfortunately, the resulting conflagration was much bigger than anyone could have expected. The huge oil slick below caught fire and spread throughout the lower cell block. The ensuing flames incinerated both the screaming prisoners and surviving guards below, while thick plumes of smoke worked to suffocate those above. The remaining guards on the ground level fled, only realizing much later to their horror that no one had bothered to release Vesirana Hockran from the workshop. The town of Ravengro mobilized to extinguish the fire before it spread, but the damage had been done. One of Uslav's most notorious prisons was no more.
This whole backstory is just full of horrible decisions.
I couldn't find my spit bottle there. Alright.
Really, really the only bad decision was the guards forgetting to lock the front door, and then the crazy lady coming in.
Yeah.
And going into hysterics.
Hey, I mean, the White House let people into the front door. It happens to everyone.
Okay.
Also, throwing a torch into a bunch of oil, that's not a very good idea.
I think that's an excellent idea. We should just start throwing fire at everything.
You would think that was an excellent idea.
Okay, alright.
What story is this all?
We're about halfway done here.
Okay.
In the 50 years that followed the Harrowstone fire, the town of Ravengro moved on to become a pleasant and perhaps even boring farming community. Yet the town's old-timers remember well the eerie prison caravans that carried monsters through the town, and none in Ravengro can ignore the brooding dark ruin of the old prison that looms on the hill overlooking the town. Tales of the prison being haunted are traded by Ravengro's youth, and on certain dark nights they taunt each other to touch the rusting bars of the prison windows. Dares to spend the night in the edifice are routinely posed but never accepted. And for good cause, for the rumors that Harrowstone is haunted are all too true.
Scary.
Yet Ravengro's citizens do not realize how precarious their situation truly is. For the ghosts of Harrowstone are contained, as they were in life, not only by the prison's walls, but the overwhelming presence of Warden Hockran's spirit. For the past several decades, even after his own men sacrificed his life to protect themselves, the Warden's ghost has continued to act as Ravengro's jailer. His ghost patrols Harrow's